to my channel. So last time I sent the application for the Summer of Nix, and well, one of the projects in the application, like what have I worked on or what projects have I picked? I've picked the OpenFire. Now, just a moment. Usage. I guess we could just check through this. So what is it? It's a real-time collaboration server licensed under the open source Apache. It uses the only widely adopted open protocol for instant messages. That's interesting. The only widely adopted open protocol, which is what? OpenFire IPv6 connectivity. Let's look at this. Okay, it supports IPv6. I remember this being for years. IPv6 was so... I mean, I don't even understand why is this going on for so many years. This project intends to add explicit IPv6 support for OpenFire. Okay, so this is the NGI page, right? So what's this connectivity? So basically, I'm just trying to like read through this program, see some kind of connectivity, and yes. So the thing is this: I have to somehow start it. I have not actually managed to do it. While the service already starts up, the test is very rudimentary. So if you want to tinker with it, reading the code to find a place to pick thing up at would be a good start. So I expect basically if they pick me up, if they pick me for the interview, right? I guess it would be interesting to do like a follow-up. So I did the OpenFire, but then yes, in the next coming days, it would be good to try this out and see, to tinker with it and see how to tinker with it, because I'm not sure. We currently copy the whole data folder to a writable directory at runtime. See this post for more details. Is this the same post? No, let's see. To quickly test that your package works, I guess you could copy the build contents to a writable directory and start that. So I guess this is the comment. Files under OpenFire. Home require read-write permissions for OpenFire to work correctly, so we can directly run it from the Nix store. Instead, we need to copy those files into a directory which has proper permissions. Right, because the Nix store is not writable. So you need to copy, I guess. Yeah, but we must... I don't know, does this happen with all of programs like this? But I guess that's some configuration data that has to be... We need to copy those files into a directory which has proper permissions, but we only do this once. Otherwise, we risk overwriting server state information every time the server is upgraded. As such, if version already exists, we assume the rest of the files do as well and copy nothing. Don't understand this. Pre-start, let update OpenFire, update state, old version, cat cfg state dear version, new version. If old version not equal new, then echo attempting to update OpenFire from old version to new. Back up the OpenFire state directory, rsync, clean old state, install new state. Wow. Yeah, I don't know these things. This is totally like... So I guess it's good to... I'm going to try this to understand what's going on, because it's fascinating with computers. Like you can do for years stuff, but like I've never done stuff like this, so I don't really... So then why am I interested in Nix? Only backup these directories, rsync, echo update complete, old state. Look at this, all of this stuff is written. Possible workarounds, set E, install package to state directory, else if, wow, this is meant with bash. This is a bash script. Is this a bash script? Open fire. Let's check this out. So wait a second, I heard that you have, memory now from all the threads that I've written. So you must be aware of the OpenFire program that I have been trying to package for the summer of Nix 2025 for this year. So I've tried to package it, and I guess you will see that from other threads. I didn't delete them. But now I'm going to paste in the module.nix, and I need your help just with, analyzing a bit what it all means. I'm kind of having, not sure how to continue this. I mean, yes, I'm sure, but it's just, it seems all new. Or like, for example, how would I make a NixOS test case with these, I guess I just have to read it first. Okay, here's the module.nix. So what are we gonna do? Look, here is the link to the PR. New users have a limit of 2 links per post. So this is LJAM. I don't know how you say it, LJAM. So help packaging OpenFire with Nix. So this is basically, this is NJAM. I'm a Summer of Nix participant. Look at this, September 2024. Maybe this was last year. Working on packaging OpenFire for Nix as part of the support effort for projects funded through NGIO Core. 3 issues running the program. First, OpenFire looks for the logs relative to the OpenFire home, but that directory is stored in the Nix store. Relative to, what does that mean, logs relative to the OpenFire home, but that directory is stored in the Nix store, which is a read-only directory. As such, I'm met with the following error. Status console listener unable to create file. Yeah, because, okay. Look, I'm now, let's first go to the NGI. NGI packages, right? Right. This is the NGI packages. This is here also. So what do we have? We have a flake doc nix, flake lock, readme. Let's actually read a bit. The Nix is a, there is repository, makes software projects, was created, NixOS, NextGen. Well, that's just the how to use. Run locally with Nix. Use libraries or tools. Deploy services to machines running NixOS. In order to do that, install Nix on Linux. Right, we have that. Install Nix. Read the Nix language. Package existing software with Nix. Work with NixOS modules. Run NixOS in virtual machines. Provision remote NixOS machine via SSH. Did I do this? Wait a second. Let's just do it here. No. Right. So setup. It will help you to get more quickly if you learn to read the Nix language. Package existing, work with modules. Yeah, I should finish the module system. This is a very long tutorial, prepare for at least 3 hours of work. So this is this the one from Infinicil or the one from Jatso? There are like 2 deep dives into the module system options. Yeah, I should really practice this again. So this is this, I've tried to go through this deep dive twice, always stopped in the middle of it. Okay, let's go back. Provision remote, run NixOS in virtual machines. I did this tutorial, I totally forgot it because I've never, you know. Let's check out virtual machines. Configuration. I guess I should. Oh yeah, I should probably, so it's about running NixOS in QEMU. I don't know how you read this, QEMU. And Infinicil did this in one of the Nix Hour episodes. So basically you can test stuff out in NixOS, but you know, without, so to say, polluting your own configuration. So this is easier because you can set up some default, pretty clean VM, and then try stuff out. Look at this, running GNOME on a graphical VM. So it can be graphical or it can be just in shell, which the first time I thought was very cool because you can you can just like run a VM and you just get a shell. I don't know, it's just cool. Okay, so I should probably, okay. Let me just make a note of it. Okay, I'm going to be making some notes along this because this time I want to make some notes. All right, so I'm preparing for this Summer of Nix interview. And the interview, if they pick me up for an interview, but any case, I want to brush up on my, you know, module system deep dive with NixOS. And then I want to run, is this going to work? No, it's not going to work. I have to be on the page. And also NixOS virtual machines. I should check the Infinicil's episodes where he is, he has this kind of VM template. Actually, I'm going to paste the link now. I think it's gonna Infinicil VM template. ZSH configuration for users keep recurring. Infinicil. I think Infinicil Nix our VM template. Let's try like this. Writing NixOS modules. This I have to check. Modules, right. Next hour. So these next episodes, I guess, on the channel are just going to be kind of learning. Templates, VM. Yeah, this thing. Nix packages, npins, VM template, configuration. This is nice. Look at this. There's a shell.nix, personal.nix, history, default.nix. Let's check out systems, built-ins, current systems, sources, imports, npins. Oh, he's using the npins. See, there's so much stuff here. So I should definitely check the copy. Okay, so here is, hey, sorry I missed the stream yesterday. Hi Debster, how did your application process go? Well, I just sent the application, it was fine. You know, I just sent it. And I was trying to work on OpenFire. Where is it? Check this out. OpenFire, NGI packages, projects. Where is it? Anyway, I mean, it went fine. It went fine, you know. I don't know. I sent it and I received a response that they're going to let me know, you know, thank you for applying. I'm still not sure if I'll continue just because it's kind of, I don't know. I just don't want to be cognitively overloaded. You started another new project. Tell me about it. Funk Whale, OpenFire. So, but I've seen I need more experience with packaging. It's because there's so many, you know, gotchas and everything. Like I was trying to, you know, package this whole thing and the thing has been already packaged. You see, it's already packaged with a service. Now, I don't even know what this means still. So in the next couple of streams, I'm just going to go, you know, and study, because I think they're going to want to, you know, in the interview, they want to, I mean, it will be smart, of course, but to do some kind of a follow-up on the packaging OpenFire, because there's stuff to do with it. So if I kind of wrote in the application that I tried something with OpenFire, I should continue, you know, tinkering with it. And definitely check the modules and stuff, you know. I'm making a small virtual machine in C++. I'm practicing for when I go over the VM section of crafting interpreters. Yeah, that's a nice book I want to go through. I really feel like, yeah, I really wanted to do that, build your own Lisp, you know, when we met. I was building my Lisp. And then we met. No, I think we met then. I'm not sure. We met. I don't think that's the correct online terminology, or it is. So, but I didn't find the book. That's why I went then to Lambda Calculus, which I should probably continue, you know, working on. I did make 21 videos. And now I have to go probably from the beginning. So it'd be nice to make hundreds of videos on one book. Then you get pushed off to the side, right? You get busy doing other things. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of see the same thing. It's just building your own Lisp was too much for me. I didn't understand really what I was doing. I wanted a more slower book, you know, and well, maybe just kind of a different. I still like the Lambda Calculus. That's my old love, Lambda Calculus. Yeah, but it's not even, you know, writing Lambda Calculus. It's just thinking about Lambda Calculus. So anyway, provision remote NixOS machines via SSH. Did I do this tutorial? Oh, I think I didn't do this. I should also look at this. CD remote Nix shell npins. Wow, this is a new tutorial. You look at this, you download npins, you pin your, like it's like a log file, npins in it. Then you download Disco. Really, Disco is cool. You make a declarative installation like file, and then you do NixOS anywhere. You can almost infect like a Linux machine with this and install NixOS from within. Then shell.nix, let's sources, packages, mk shell, make a shell with npins anywhere, rebuild. And then shell hook, exit, and that's it. And then the Disco, right? Type content GPT. Look at this. You just make ESP root, right? This is like installing something. And then you create configuration.nix, bootloader, test the disk layout, and deploy the system. This is a nice practice also. And then npins update Nix packages. This is, yeah. Paste the link. So one more thing is also provisioning NixOS machines over SSH. And I got to check also npins. I applied for a tutorship at my college for the computer science department. Oh, that's great. Congratulations. It's so like to teach, right? It's great to teach. You're going to learn a lot. Have you ever taught? It's great. I really like that. You know, you really learn a lot, especially because you have to adapt. You have to, you have to like look together with someone and see how they understand and what you understand, and it's very nice. It's very helpful for, personal growth. I don't know. So this is a guided tour of the module.nix of the OpenFire skeleton CFG circuit config libs packages. Module arguments, config lib packages. Yeah, CFG enable saves a lot of typing. Yes, they do this. So all of this thing is same as this. Okay. Options, OpenFire, data deer. Yeah, there's so much. Yeah. So I should probably do this tutorial. Provisioning remote machine via SSH. This be nice. What will you learn? Familiarity with Nix language. Familiarity with the module system. Do I have Kimu with keksec support? Okay, provisioning remote machines. Oh, this is the analysis. Where is it? Okay. NixOS module system deep dive. Yeah. Oh, this is nice. He knows that stuff. Watch Robert Hensing's talk, hosted by Infinicil. That's wrong. For a conceptual view of the fixed point trick Nix uses to evaluate modules. Yeah, I saw this video, but I have to see it again. It's just very deep, and Robert is very. He gave a link to my video. What? Really? That's not good. ChatGPT shouldn't recommend my videos. Oh, he did recommend my video. Yeah, I should probably finish it. Running NixOS VMs for safe experiments. Yes, that's the other thing I should practice. Provisioning NixOS over SSH. So for Ansible-ish fleet deployments, deploy RS and Colmena or Morph. Yeah, that's next level stuff. Dependency pinning with npins. Also need to check blog walkthrough, ditch channels, log both Nix packages and your system config in a repo. Jade FYI. Yeah, Jade FYI. So I will post some links that you should include. I'm kind of working through a learning plan. This is for npins section. So it starts all with this post. And then also pinning discourse. So what did you apply? Like to teach what? Like is it just general, or like you apply to be assistant or npins? Pinning NixOS with npins. This one. This is something I should check also. And then this. So Pygames, yeah, Infinicell. So this is also interesting, yeah. Assuming I get accepted, I will be tutoring for some entry-level computer science classes. That's great. That's great. That's also great practice. I also got accepted for a disability, which allows me to work part-time while also getting paid by the government. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. That's great. Yeah, I know, but we have the same thing here. Yeah. Then you get some getting paid. Yeah. Here is not much in Croatia. I think very little. But, you know, it's something. Yeah, I guess it adds up. And I guess it depends actually on the disability, yeah. On the level of it, I guess. But here they have it, I'm sure they have it much better in I think you're in States or where. At least I hope so. Provisioning NixOS over SSH, dependency pinning with npins, contacts for Summer of Nix interviews. Oh yes, contacts for Summer of Nix interviews, Summer of Nix scratchpad. Look at this, I have a scratchpad? Oh. Prep notebook, look at this. Summer of Nix prep notebook. Okay. So this is the modules, the virtual machines, provisioning. All right. Pinning, I have that. What's this? NixOS templates VM. Oh yeah. Yeah. Stateless Sonics. Stateless NixOS VM for demonstration purposes. This is related to Sonics. Before running this yourself, you might want to read through personal.nix. Users, user me, UID, services, layout, DVP. What's DVP? Caps, backspace. That's nice. Like, check this out. If you make a caps as a backspace, look at this. You have caps. I know he has caps as backspace, which is kind of cool. And then you can always go back a word. Like, you can go back. I guess it's a very quick way to, like, when you write something wrong and you go back. But if he has caps backspace, oh, he just has caps backspace, I guess, and control. But where does he have escape then? I think escape, he has it on control. But then where would I put control? What do you think? Right? Yeah, it's just one weird thing. Like, Infinicil has caps mapped to backspace, which is very practical. Like, you're typing something, you make a little mistake, and then you just press with the pinky, right? Caps as in backspace. And it's not something, it is something that you might, that you need. And then, but what if I use Vim or Helix? I need escape, but I don't want to have escape in its usual position, but maybe escape as instead of control. But then where do I put control? I do need control. I can't put it as Alt. I can't put it as Shift. I'm confused. I almost want to, yeah. So that's exactly the cause. Look, I'm just kind of talking half an hour. To quickly test that your package works, I guess you could copy the build contents to a writable directory and start that. So, okay, let's say okay, let's quit this. Default.nix. Structure. Each piece of software NGI packages is called a project, right? Each project may consist of multiple packaging artifacts. Okay, so these words are kind of important. So we have a project, and the project may consist of multiple packaging artifacts. Packaging artifacts. So NixOS configuration modules for adding application components to a NixOS system. Right, so a NixOS configuration module would be a packaging artifact. So then examples for configuring these modules. I guess that would be another packaging artifact. Now, tests to ensure the modules and examples work as intended. That would be another packaging artifact. Now, libraries for various programming languages that can be composed with Nix packages, package recipes. Links to upstream documentation for using the application or maintaining or extending the NixOS packaging. Now it's showing us this file, collection of project configuration, modules, and some helper tooling projects. Oh, now it's kind of showing me the tree structure of the repository. So the projects have default.nix, aggregates all projects. Models Nix, data model for packaging artifacts. Model, data model for packaging artifacts. What do you mean model? So we have a default.nix, current system, dream2nix, in rec, NixOS module. This default module adds the default overlay. So let's go to projects. We have models here, default module, default Nix. So these are all the projects that have been packaged so far. Let's check hx default.nix. What did I do? So lib packages sources models, import models.nix, right. Inherit lib packages sources. Element read dir trace, inherit lib attribute set, concat filter attributes, inherit models, base directory. That's the root directory. Project directories, let names, name type. If type directory, then name base directory plus name. Nothing else should be kept in this directory reserved for else. Assert element name, allowed files. Allowed files. Oh, this is interesting. Allowed files, readme, default models, remove after fully migrating types to the module system, default module types Nix. Oh, I kind of understand what this is. Very simple, but it uses Nix language. Default module type. Let's check out models. Lib packages sources. Arguably we can eventually translate this to the module system. We only need to type check in CI. Yans. What's Yans? String list option. Subgrant type. Struct subgrant. Module type, binary type. Plugins are actually component extensions. It's funny. Let's see if ChatGPT can. How can it? Okay, I need you to kind of analyze the NGI packages repo, and I'm going to paste in the link. So maybe you could tell me how it's, you know, all wired up as far as you understand it. Let's see how it does it. So GNU Taller, and we do have types also. Look at this, we have types. Subgrant. Again, this subgrant. Yeah, it'd be nice to have like a README with a lot of README information. Something like what ChatGPT outputs. Almost like welcome to the NGI packages repo. Here you can find wonderful packages, stuff like that. So this is the module system. You know, this doesn't seem hard, but needs experience. I don't know what this means. It cannot really. Yeah. Models. Okay, let's check out this thing. Models. Okay, analyze this file from the repo. Models types. Last week, 3 weeks. Add subgrant type. So subgrant type. Add subgrant type. Look at this. Okay, they added a type. Subgrant type. Struct subgrant. Commons option list string. Core option list string. Entrust option list string. Yeah, I gotta really do the modules. I don't really have much experience with this actually. And there's gonna, yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some time actually watching the this is really slow, the new O3. Look at this. Stop. Very slow. Think of it. Can you finally analyze it? Why are you thinking for or longer? I don't like that. Sometimes I say I don't like that. Just stop, and then he just outputs the I don't know. This file defines a strict schema for describing NGI-funded NixOS projects. It's written in YANS. What's a YANT? A type system in Nix to enforce structure, validation, and consistency. YANS? I don't know about that. YANS. Oh, look at this. YANS 2000 Taj. Oh, Tajin. He's the person who does the Nix, the TVL people who do Rust, who do Nix with Rust. Composable Nix types with polymorphism structs, enums, plus matching and more. This week seems to be my week for bizarre Nix ideas. And in bizarre, why bizarre? Spirit, I present YANS. Yet another Nix type system. Oh, I think I saw that one time. Check the link for amazing screenshot. Where is it? YANS has now its own repository. This repository was archived. It is now read-only. Has moved to git Taj Zin 3 Nix YANS. Tests. Default.nix. Depot. Monorepo for the virus launch. This provides a type system. Any type dev. Look at this. Yeah, this is so much too. Wow. This is something to see. Well, so I wasn't YANS is mentioned. Summary. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch more videos. I feel like I would speed up this, actually. It would speed up this, what I'm doing now, maybe, or maybe not. Examples. Wait, let's do, I should be more practical. So what if I do Nix build? No, Nix build like this. And we have a result. Must be run as root, right? Yeah, if we do an interview, they are going to want to know, what have I done with this? Robert, he always writes great. Interesting idea. Two observations come to mind. Modules are already functions. Types deferred module in particular can be used as a function, although functions are, of course, unidiomatic for configuration systems where all configuration is data, which is why you won't see it often, and it didn't exist when this conversation was initially held. Functions lead to user experience problems with overriding and possibly also with merging, although I haven't fully explored that difference in this context. As an example, consider the packages override method and packages override address. Let's call the function we pass to call package a package function. Override and override address are separated by the package function. The prior changes its arguments, whereas the latter overrides the result. So the override changes the arguments and override address overrides the result. The trouble comes when you start combining this. What if you call override after override address? By default, this wouldn't be even supported. So call package has special code to support override address. We haven't solved these architectural problems, and I don't think it's for a lack of trying. Yeah, it's almost like everything's manual. What do you mean? You just have override and override address? We haven't solved this. Certainly I've spent some time to fix that, but there didn't seem to be an easy fix in the confines of what can be done in Nix packages without too significant changes. I'd love to be proven wrong, and maybe it really does take an interface change like common override interface derivations. Just some insights in case anyone wants to go off. And play around with such an idea. There could still be an interesting idea hiding here somewhere, and I guess deferred module. Sorry for reviving this whole thread to those who take offense. Yeah, this is that moment when there's just so much to read and must be run as root. The program is unable to extract the search plugin. An exception occurred while trying to extract plugin search. Third, when opening I don't think this will work also. Yeah. Which I don't know if it's related to the previous two issues. In summary, is there any way to point OpenFire to use writable directory for the logs and the plugin extraction? For more details, here's the full log. Result bin OpenFire sh, debug start. He starts OpenFire sh. What did I start? OpenFire CTL. sh. Let's do start. An exception occurred while trying to extract plugin search. Is this what he described? Extract the search plugin, right. The home directory was not configured, which will prevent the application from working correctly. Could not create directory. Error. Okay. So these are third. Okay. So we have the same. Okay. In summary, this is the log debug start. Oh, so that's also, let's do OpenFire sh debug start. Is this the main thing, I guess? Let's find it here, actually. Start debug mode. So this is here. Could not create directory. Oh, okay, that's the first problem, actually. Right, and then the second problem, and then the third. So this is the link to the PR. New users have a limit of 2 links per post. What is it PRing? So let's actually better follow. OpenFire merged. Initial work for packaging. OpenFire, this derivation built successfully, but the program does not work correctly yet. Okay. Oh. Where's the derivation? Because I kind of packaged it, but the files change. Okay, let's see what so lib standard environment fetch from GitHub CMake. No, this is I deleted it actually. Did I delete it? I did delete it. I did delete it. But I have it here actually. Funkwhale, this is nice. Free, decentralized. I really like what they're doing with this. Quick Sassel. What's this? Quick Sassel. Reminds me of functional programming. Sassel and Miranda. Did migrate derivations to Nix packages. What is this? We have a bunch of NGI packages. We'd like to migrate from this repository to Nix packages. Why? So for each item in the list below, the task is to open an issue here in NGI packages with the title package name NGI packages arrow Nix packages. Read the Nix packages guide. Quick start to adding a package. What's this? Start migrating and make sure to add the following things if they're missing. A meta field and update script. Test that the update script works by running. Yeah, I really got to do this. I got to learn this in the next, week. There's so much stuff here to, just go through it. It doesn't seem hard though. I think once you learn the ropes a bit, then you can feel. So yeah, this no rec but final address. Okay, this is nice. personal. Okay, open fire. Quick start adding a package. Okay. He told me read this thread. This is the link to the PR. Lib maven fetch from GitHub. JDK headless make wrapper. Maven build maven package. Rec. Pname openfire version. Source, right? This. Some devs require intermittent for tests. Yeah, I'd like to also, because this is not how I packaged it, but it did work. Yeah, this is actually building it with Maven. Okay. It's exciting to see a new packaging effort. Thanks for taking this on. OpenFire's packaging has always been a bit elusive. Generally speaking, OpenFire requires read and write access to anything in and under OpenFire Home. The first two issues that you described seem to be a direct result of the OpenFire process not being able to write. I don't immediately recognize the third problem, but it's likely that it's a side effect of the same. Right. Okay. So apart from the logging, this is where plugins get extracted. OpenFire Home plugins. Right. Where some non-read-only config is persisted. OpenFire Conf. OpenFire Home Security. The embedded database lives. Embedded DB, and where plugins can be expected to create directories where they persist their own data. The monitoring service plugin is known to create indices. OpenFire Home Monitoring. I'm probably missing a couple of things that write to this directory. Now you can easily, how long? 1 hour and I haven't done anything. You can quite easily control where log files are stored by modifying log4j2 XML. That file is a standard configuration file from log4j. I have no experience with Nix, so I can't be of much practical help there. Maybe you can find some inspiration in the largely outdated distribution configuration that can be found in OpenFire and blah blah. You'll need to find a way for OpenFire Home to be writable to the OpenFire process. Right, so OpenFire we put somewhere, but where do you put it? It can be in the Nix store. So would it be possible to make a new environment variable for these directories? Something like OpenFire runtime, perhaps. This would make packaging OpenFire easier for Nix, as we won't have to patch these directories in the code. By default, this variable can point to OpenFire Home, which should break compatibility with how OpenFire handles things. So I'm not exactly sure if I understand what you mean. We could add a new environment variable, but all existing code, including lots of third-party plugins, would simply continue to use the old variable. That still would break everything, I think. I guess they didn't understand each other. I meant anything writable will use OpenFire runtime instead of OpenFire Home, and the former will point to the latter, so things won't break. Then if we point OpenFire runtime to a writable directory, the program will look there instead. Updating all usages of OpenFire Home in the existing code is likely going to be a very difficult task. Not only is that used by OpenFire itself, but also many of our plugins. There will also be third-party plugins over which we have no control that depends on this. Okay, so they're not going to do this. I'm not saying they can be done, but I suspect that it's a lot of work. If you're up for that, please give it a try. I would suggest finding a different approach to this problem, though. Speaking about logs, we may use standard out or syslog instead. and they will be processed by the systemd journald. I checked the deb packaging and sent some improvements. Yeah, not a developer. I would prefer to have the OpenFire logs separated from the syslog. I do like the convenience that these logs provide in many aspects. Yeah, so what... It's kind of tricky, this. I don't know, maybe I've stumbled upon a little bit more... Well... One of the issues at hand. Okay. OpenFire now works through an OpenFire server service adapted from the Crossfire server module, which copies the program files in a read-writable OpenFire home directory at runtime. This is a good step in getting the server to run, but it's unclear to me how to update the program state on package updates in a non-destructive manner. Wow, it's kind of tricky. The program state can now be automatically migrated on package updates following the steps in OpenFire upgrade guide. Requested a review. Pull request successfully merged and closed. What's this picture? Build bot. Okay, we read this. So again, it says to work around this, we currently copy the whole data folder to a writable directory. I guess you could copy the build contents to a writable directory and start that. Pre-start. Okay, here is it, but how do I... No, this is already... Okay, one of the contributors says to... Now it's unclear to me how to do this, since we are linking this. Copy the whole data folder. Mentioning the section about copying the data folder to a writable directory. What's the time? hour and 5 minutes. You're already doing the exact workaround the contributor mentioned, copying the data folder from the Nix store to a writable runtime directory, which is the correct approach because OpenFire expects to modify files in place. The problem, Nix packages are mutable, right? Read only, but OpenFire tries to write logs, modify configs, update plugins. Right, so write to embedded database files, right, touch version files and stuff. So this means you cannot run OpenFire directly from package opt, even though it would otherwise work. You already have this logic inside pre-start. On first start, if no version file exists in state dir. I'm not sure. The module, so this copies the entire contents of the read-only package. Then it launches the server. Yeah, but what's going on with the module? I don't. Yeah, but actually, how do I start the project? So this is the module in OpenFire, but okay, I'm in the NGI repo, right? I do Nix build OpenFire. I get the same. So it does the package work, but I can't run it because I still haven't set up the writable directory. But how do I do it? I don't just copy paste the code from the module.nix. I guess how do I use it? You know what I mean? So you're in the NGI Nix, your OpenFire package builds, but your module is not automatically usable and you're not sure how to run OpenFire in a writable environment, right? Okay, Nix package, default.nix, and NixOS module.nix, a YANS project descriptor, OpenFire default.nix. But you don't have a running system yet. NGI packages doesn't auto spin up services. You need an example with a test or a VM with your service enabled. Right. Create an example like the others. Do I have examples? Results. WireGuard, look at this. Default example.nix, example.nix. There is an example.nix. In everyone? Contributing infra, overview, projects, packages. But wait, we have packages? By name? Here's by name. These are all the projects. Projects, and the projects are here. CD, open, fire. Do I have an open fire? Why do I do not have open fire here? I have open fire. Why cannot I CD there? So we have a default.nix, example.nix, module.nix, and test.nix. All right, so default projects, OpenFire examples, minimal.nix. This is what the projects OpenFire has. So let's check out the default. Lib packages, sources, args, metadata. NixOS, module, services, example, description, test. Enable firewall, subgrants. So this is the default.nix. This is the default.nix. So let's check example. There are not much examples. Services open fire server enable true. Services open fire server open firewall true. That's it. Your default.nix metadata. This defines a project with a services open fire server NixOS module. That module has an example. That example is tested under test. So how to run the test? Nix build projects. In the root of NGI packages repo run. What do you mean? So I'm in the root now. What do you mean? Like Nix build what? Oh, I can do projects. No, it won't finish. Projects. Really? This is too long. Services. I don't think this will work really. Services. I'll just copy and paste this. Because there are flakes here. Nix build projects open fire. Does it? No. This will evaluate your module. User example on Nix to configure system with services. User test Nix to boot that system in a VM and run your service. Nix flake check. Checking NixOS configuration. NixOS configurations make. What is it really checking now? All the derivations? Set a description field. I still don't know how to run the module. No. Open fire. Test. Run the test interactively. Lib packages, sources, nodes, imports. How do I run this test? So how do I run this test? Enables open fire with your module. Forward hosts. Starts the VM and checks. Assuming this test is inside test and wired through default.nix. As test basic import, you can run it with Nix build. Yeah, but this doesn't work. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just watch think I'm gonna watch. Doesn't currently expose that path from its top level flake.nix. That's why Nix can't find it. You need to expose your OpenFire project through flake.nix at the top of the repo. Open your flake.nix. So input stream to Nix, SOPs, YANS. Look at this. Yeah, there's gonna be some, learning about this. That's why I think I'm not actually ready for packaging, because I think I need a lot of hand holding, maybe, or maybe just a lot of time. Maybe I would just end up, learning a lot. Well, so like today I've just, read a bit. I haven't really. If you already have a project, you may need to adjust path, recheck what's exposed after adding that run nixflake show and verify. Nixflake show. Nixflake show. Expected a derivation. Yeah, I'm not. Would you like me to generate? So I'm gonna space yank. So this is the flake.nix. So classic projects is loaded with classic import sources input system null, then later let NGI projects classic projects. So your project's default.nix is already being loaded and included. However, the test fails because your default.nix is missing a tests key at the top level. This is required so it gets picked up by. Expose the test in NixOS test. Modify your project's OpenFire default.nix to include this key currently missing. Which key? Add this to expose the test to flake.check. And next build. Really? Now you can run. Add this to expose the test to flake check. You know how you switch. Default. Tests basic. Tests. But it seems it's already wired up. Here's the default .nix from OpenFire director. So your default.nix is almost correct, but it's missing the one field that NGI packages flake.nix expects to expose and run your test via Nix build or Nix flake check. Even though you define NixOS module services, there is no top-level NixOS tests. NGI flake system only reads NixOS tests to collect test entries. This line in the flake makes that crystal clear. Check for NixOS tests, concat map attribute, test name test, projects, project name NixOS tests, test project NixOS test. Yeah, I would never, I don't know how to write this. It's kind of that fix, add a NixOS test basic field. Add this field so FlakeNix picks it up. Tests. Really add like tests. Tests basic. Import test.nix rx. Look at this. Test basic. But there is test basic. But there is the section with tests. But here's the critical distinction. The test basic is nested inside the example, which means it's only available. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of lost. I don't know what to do. Yeah, too bad there's not a guide. Okay, I'll have to stop soon. So not much has been done today, but a bit, you know, I guess some context has been brought into scope. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop for now. Maybe watch something and have some work to do. So that's it for today. Not much. As I said, just a bit of context. Alrighty. Well, thanks for sticking around, Dapster. And I'm so happy you're gonna. Well, I hope they're gonna accept you for teaching. And good luck with the C++ virtual machine. That always sounds cool. All right. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. And yeah, see you next time. Bye-bye.